Hello and welcome to An A Productions. I'm Barry Engel, and today we're going to be looking at my old sketchbooks, part 5, I think, or is it part 4? I think it's part 3. No, part 5. Okay, I'm pretty sure this is part 5. Okay, so if you remember in part 4, there was this story where me and my company, my assorted friends, which is Alex and Ethan, caught a robber. This didn't actually happen in real life, obviously. But anyway, so here's a continuation of that. Can you believe it? I say. Believe what? Ethan says. Well, remember when we caught that robber? Our names were up in lights. But now we're getting rejected by kids if we dropped a stove on them. But we did, remember? Shh, don't bring up the Costco incident! Oh, and if you didn't watch the first few parts, let me go over the people. That guy in the striped shirt is me. That guy is Alex, my best friend, Night Flare Studios. And this guy is another one of my friends. He's Ethan, from Mining Man 12, that YouTube channel with like 200-something subscribers. Yeah, okay. Next comic strip. Okay, and then here's a strip about April Fools, because I did this on April Fool's Day. Then I say, can you help me do an April Fool's joke on Alex? Sure, Ethan says. You stand guard and watch for him, so then I can nail him with my paintball gun. Got it! Watching for Alex, watching for Alex. Pow! Pow! April Fools! Because turns out I turned on Ethan and I got him with the paintball. And then when Alex came, I got him with the paintball too, so I got both of them with the paintball gun. And then, that was my April Fool's prank to them. This didn't actually happen in real life, of course. Okay, next comic strip. Okay, and then here's one about daylight savings time. So I'm walking to school with Alex, and then I'm like, hey, why is it so bright? It's only 7:25. And then Alex says, it's daylight savings time. Every year on Halloween, we set the clocks back 1 hour. So it's like changing the time? Exactly. I have an idea. See, Mom, I can't go to bed. It's, only 3:30, because I'm changing the time on the clock. Right, Barry. Because, she's my trick. Because, she knows that I'm changing back the time. Okay, next comic strip. Okay. So, I'm with Ethan and Alex, and then we're in the snow, apparently, and we made snow forts. But the weird thing is, where I live, it never, ever, 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 ever snows, except for, like, a tiny bit occasionally. But usually the best we get is just a little bit of ice. A little bit of ice! And it's not even that much ice! Anyway, so obviously this didn't happen in real life because we wouldn't even have enough snow to make all these snow forts. Okay, anyway, so I'm like, Nerf gun fight! Pow, pow, pow! Shopkins, I ran out of Nerf balls. Because, it's funny because I ran out of Nerf gun balls, so I just ended up using my sister's Shopkins. You can go and look those up. Those are little miniature toys that I'm sure a lot of little kids would play with. Okay, next comic strip. Okay, and then here's one I worked really hard on with a bunch of detail. Okay, the robot is stupid and unaware of the dangers around him. Which is a Nerf gun 2.0, donk! The wires spill out from the... I don't think you get enough homework, Alex says. It's funny because you think it's all serious and stuff, and then the robot is really just a toy robot that I made, and then this is really just a Nerf gun ball. It's funny. That little toy robot that I showed you, that's actually based on a real robot toy that I made myself. Here it is. It's pretty cool if I do say so myself. It's made from this weird flashlight thing I found who knows where, and a Crayola crayon sharpener, and a bunch of tape. Okay, and also, since it's a crayon sharpener, you know how sharpeners have those little compartments where you can empty the shavings? You can take him apart, and there's a little hidden compartment inside of him, which you can hide stuff in. So it's one of the coolest toys I've ever made. Okay, on to the next comic strip. Okay, here's the next one. So I'm sitting with Alex in the library, and then we're both reading books, and then I'm reading a world record book, apparently. And then I'm like, it says here that the coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth is negative 128.6 degrees Fahrenheit. Uh-huh. And if I break a record on here, I'll be famous. Uh-huh. See, world's longest comic strip. How about that? Can I borrow your notebook paper? I'm just trying to read David Copperfield. Because there's a recurring gag in my comic strip where Alex keeps reading this book called David Copperfield, but he never gets to finish it. Okay, next comic strip. Okay, and then this is kind of based on a performance I did, but some of it's fake. Okay, so there's me and my friends, and then there's, okay, so you can see there's me, there's Alex, there's Emoticon right there, then there's Ethan, and then you haven't met this person before. I'll just call her, Cat, because she likes cats, but that's not her real name. I'm sure if you're watching this right now, Cat, then you know exactly what your real name is, and if you know me in elementary or intermediate school, you know who Cat is, okay? So anyway, so then she says, and now Mrs. Blank's homeroom gives you If Everybody Had an Ocean. And then we start playing them on ukuleles because that's an actual thing we did in music class once. And then I don't know if Alex was actually there. He still went to the same school, but he wasn't really in much of the same classes. Okay, and then all of a sudden the music changed to we will rock you. That's funny because there's that didn't actually happen, although it was kind of funny how when we were performing, the music changed from like the Ocean song to the We Will Rock You song, but it was planned and we were just doing a Rock You performance. But the thing was, in the comic strip, it was not meant to happen. Okay, and then I'm like, is your cat bribing the music guy? Dimey's going for broke. Because it's funny because I made Cat in my comic strip have a cat called Dimey. I don't know if Cat actually has a cat named Dimey. If she does, that'd be pretty cool. Anyway, so yeah. And Dimey's like, meow. Then it's like, buddy, you're a boy, because that's the next line of the song, and after that, I'm lost. I don't know what comes after that line. Okay, next comic strip. And that concludes my second sketchbook that I showed you guys. Okay, and then I'll probably be doing my third sketchbook right now. And there it is. As you can see, my second and third sketchbook look exactly the same, but don't get them confused, because I did that one first and then that one second. So now, since this video is only like 7 minutes long, and that's only about half of usually what these sketchbook videos are, I have time to do part of this sketchbook, so yeah. And let's start this one. Wait, hang on. A golden rock emerges from the brightest stars. It is truly a beautiful sight of this amazing rock, only to be devoured by the humongous giant. It was my mistake to share my chicken McNuggets, Alex says. Okay, I guess that was meant to be funny. Okay, and then this is part of like a kind of long story arc. And then, so Ethan's checking his locker, and then he's like, "Cow, my football's gone!" And then I walk up to him, and I'm like, "No need to worry, Ethan. Barry Engle, Super Sleuth, is on the case. I'll hunt down whoever took that tennis ball if it's the last thing I do." It was a football, Sherlock. What's with the explorer hat, Alex says. It's funny because this is based on a real hat I had when I was little. I never actually had a hat that looked like a detective hat, but I did have this weird plastic explorer hat, and that's apparently what that's supposed to be. So it's like not a detective hat, and it's an explorer hat, and that's what Alex is remarking at. Okay, now let's go to the continuation of that. Okay, so I'm just trying to write some stuff down in my notebook. I'm like, so what kind of football is missing? A brown one with the word Wilson on it. Wait a minute, if the name Wilson was on it, that means it was Wilson's ball. Hey, it's the name of a football player. You stole a football. It's the name of a football player. It was a clever disguise, saying you lost it. It's the name of a football player. That's actually kind of double funny, because if I thought, you know, that Wilson brand name on footballs and stuff, I thought that was the name of a football player, so that's how the company name got started, but no, it's just the company name. I thought it was also the name of a football player, but it's not. So just replace the words football player with, like, company name, and then you'll understand this strip. If you replace those words, then it's actually pretty funny. Okay, and then Emoticon runs up to us and says, "Guys, my yo-yo got stolen. The same with Ethan's football. And my phone. And my magic wand," Cat says. And it's like, "No worries, friends. Barry Engle, Super Sleuth, is already on the case." With an explorer hat. It's the closest I have to a detective hat, okay?